I'm going to talk about making Slack ready emojis because that's a fun thing to do and it shouldn't take too long to show you. I'm going to go ahead and open up this new image that I downloaded. I need to go to my Miss Fisher stuff and my emojis. And so we already have an emoji for cliffhanger, but I wanted to do something that's a little bit easier to read. So I chose this. Now, it's got too much white space here. So basically, if I do it just like this, you're going to see too much white. The first thing I'm going to do is actually isolate it down to just the image. I don't need to do this as a circle, but it's a little easier since the boundaries on the existing image are a circle. Alright, so I've selected this. I need to go to invert. Now if I just hit delete, it's going to remove that outer circle, but it's not going to remove any of the white space. So that's okay right now because I'm going to remove all of the white space at once. So I'm going to go ahead and choose my magic wand here. And then I'm going to select by color. And so in this case, I'm selecting white. Now I want to remove all of this white space. So I'm going to go to my layer. Remember, I have to add an alpha channel. And when I hit delete, I'm left with just the image in the center. Now, Slack emojis have to be a maximum of 128 pixels by 128 pixels, or smaller, depending on, or one side can be smaller if it's not perfectly square. They tend to work better if they're perfectly square, but it's not really necessary as long as the biggest side is only 128 pixels. And a maximum of 64 kilobytes. So with images, that's really not a problem. If you want to do GIF emojis, that becomes sort of an issue. So I've got still a lot of space in here. It's still 307 by 307. And so I'm going to go to my image, and I'm going to zealously crop this. And this is going to pull it down to the smallest edges of the picture. And what that left me with is 147 by 157 pixels. It's still too big. GIMP won't, not GIMP, Slack won't accept it. So I'm going to go to my image. I'm going to scale my image. I'm going to keep these locked so that they don't change. They don't change how they're laid out. And then I'm going to change the pixels. I can usually highlight that. Now, if I decide I do want to keep them exactly 128 by 128, I can unlink them. Again, I have this problem with this program does not like to be recorded. Yeah, no, well, I was going to try to show what it'll do if I make the width 128 as well as the height 128, which I can do by unchaining these, is it'll just make everything look bigger, wider. I don't think that's necessary, so I'm going to leave it the way it is. I'm going to scale this. So now it's scaled down to the proper size. Then I just need to, if I overwrite it as a JPEG, then what that's going to do is it's going to give a background to it generally. I don't want to do that. I want to make this, I'm going to export this as a PNG. That way too, if I name it something different, I can keep the original if I decide I don't like how that works. And then I'm going to export it. And that's all I need to do to get that emoji built.